Hello everyone and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Lisa Boson and today we're going to talk protein and how can we get protein in our diet. And so we're just going to do something kind of fun. I had a bunch of products left over from my Learn It Live class today and I thought, well, what can I do with tofu, tempeh, and seitan? And so we're going to play around with it. We're going to do a test. Maybe this is something you might want to try at home. There's super inexpensive ingredients, so you won't have a whole lot of money outlay, but you will have a whole lot of protein when you get done. So thanks for joining me. Let's get started. I'm going to beg forgiveness. I have to move my dog. So three powerhouses of plant-based protein are tempeh, tofu, and seitan. So what can we do with them and how do they taste? I actually just thought of this about 10 minutes ago on doing this test, but we'll give it a try. I'm going to move the camera, move it down, and show you what I did. I'm going to start out with tofu. Regardless of what kind of tofu you get, particularly if you're doing firm, extra firm, whatever, it comes in a package with water, and you have to get the water out to cook it. So tofu is basically soy. And lots of people that make tofu at home, but it's a soy product. And gosh, it feels and acts like a sponge. So it comes, actually, I'll just put this back together. You can kind of see what it looked like. It comes in a block like this, laying in a box with some water. So I cut mine into 5-piece, 5 lengths. You can decide what you want as far as how you want to cut yours. You can go ahead and do cubes, but I tend to do it in lengths like this so that if I want to do cubes, I can. If I want to crumble it, I can. If I want to pan saute it, I can. So I think it's a lot more versatile this way. So what I do is I drain it, I cut it, and I don't use paper towels anymore. I just get a cloth and lay it on the cloth. Use whatever tools you have. I used to be a baker, cottage food baker, and baked kolaches. I have 12 of these. They have come in so handy. And then just put a weight on it and let it just absorb all the water in maybe 30 minutes, an hour or so. I think these have been about an hour. And this cloth is absolutely pretty damp all over. Pardon me, all of these products are great at absorbing flavors. I'm going to use just off the shelf. I'm not promoting this brand unless you just want to use it. But I'm using a prepared product, flavoring product, because so many of my friends say, oh, I don't cook. How can I can't go plant-based. I don't know how to cook. So my primary focus with my demonstrations and 10-minute videos and hour-long cooking classes are to help people just have some techniques on adding more plants to their diet. Today it's plant-based protein. So I'm not the best. Sometimes these come out really cute, perfect. Sometimes not so much. These are just going to be a little bit bigger. You know, we're not a restaurant, we're at home. So we got some rectangles, some cubes, you know, go call the tofu police. And so all I'm going to do with those is put these in a bowl. Ta-da, super easy. And I'm just going to test what happens when you do these 3 products and marinate them and then air fry them. Here we go. We're just going to put some of this. So this is Flavor Master peppercorn garlic. I think what's interesting is it has 0 calories, very little salt, like 10 milligrams of salt, no carbohydrates, no proteins, but oh my gosh, look at that beautiful glaze. So I'm already getting excited about this test. And my husband's always looking for what can he have to add a little protein, just some little ways. So I'm hoping, this is a test, I've never done this. I'm hoping that this is going to go in the air fryer and it's going to fry up and be soft on the inside and sticky gooey on the outside and be a really nice fun thing to eat. The next thing is tempeh. So tempeh is another soy product. Some people, but it's fermented and it compacts it in. So you wind up with, tempeh has 34-ish in a serving. which is 100 grams or a cup. So tempeh, I like this brand is Lifeline. You can use whatever brand you like. There are some people that make it with chickpeas and black beans. So I'm really hoping this dish is going to be great. We're going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to cut some smaller pieces. And you can see it kind of looks, it's not really, it's a little bit of a mind bender. It's kind of bumpy. And then the cut pieces, you know, look like, I don't know what you call this. Anyway, you have to, it's one of those products you kind of have to get used to. I'm thinking we might can have a really nice crunchy snack with these that again has very low fat, high protein, tasty. Hope this works. I'm doing small batches because I really want the sauce I'm using to have a chance to just soak in and coat. I'm thinking this is going to be really beautiful. And I promise I've never done this before. I have certainly marinated tofu, but I've never used this product or similar products because as a home chef and as a recipe developer, I do tend to make my own things. But I just get so many people, friends, that don't cook, want to give things a try, get other people that, you know, think whole food, plant-based is just vegetables. Sometimes on menus, all you get is a plate of vegetables, and I get a little annoyed at that. So maybe this might be something for like a brewery to, or a food truck. So here we go. The last thing is seitan, and this particular seitan, it has really nice, you can get it in chunks, you can get it in slivers. My hands are messy, so I'm gonna have to watch this. I love using Kitchen Bouquet. It's one of my favorites. Kind of overdid this one just a little bit. So I might have to borrow some of this sauce and put it on put it on the tempeh. I think that's what I'm going to do. So seitan is vital wheat gluten. And being plant-based does not necessarily mean that you are gluten-free. So again, I'm doing this because I think it's important that anyone on a plant-based diet works through and tests some things to see if it will work. All right, so we have our 3 here. They're all gonna sit for 30 minutes. We're gonna give everybody equal time. We have our 3 high protein options here, marinating in a zero sauce. We're going to put them into the air fryer for about 15 minutes, maybe 10. I'm going to look at them at 10 at 425 and see what we get. We may have something fabulous. We may have something awful, but we're going to know what we have. So we're back from our walk. It's going to snow in about 2 hours, and we're going to be oven frying, air frying, all these things that we've been marinating. So I'm going to turn the video down. You don't need to see me put foil on a pan and spray it. So that's done. And I'm really excited about this. I'm using tongs on these because, yeah, just get them on there. I'm going to just do them all at one time just to make it easier. Let's see what we wind up with. Here's our tofu. I think it's totally okay to do a live experiment. I'm just thinking these seitan, gosh, they really absorbed that, didn't they? Wow. So here's part of the experiment. Who looks the best right now? And I think it's seitan is number 1 and tempeh is number 2. So let's go put in the oven for, test it at 10 minutes, see where we're at, but 15 total if we need to go that far. So this is just a reminder, I'm doing 425 air fryer mode for 10 minutes. And then I might go an additional 5 if I don't feel like they are quite done. And we'll see what the results are. So welcome back. We are doing our test kitchen with protein, high protein substitutes. So let's see what happened to our tofu, our seitan, and our tempeh. So I've got the lights out. And so all of them kept their really nice dark color. Hold that up. Almost looks like a sausage. The tempeh is nice. I think it has the prettiest color. You may not be able to see it, but it has elements of gold and not just dark. Maybe the light will help. Not really. It has elements of dark, of golden, and not just brown. And then our seitan over here almost looks like barbecue ends, you know, nice dark burnt ends. I'm going to feel them first. I think that's important. So these are still nice and firm and still flexible. That's pretty cool. They're not trying to break in two. These are great. These feel nice and firm and spongy. And these actually might look burnt, but they feel really tender. Eat with your eyes, feel with your fingers. So first, let's taste the tempeh. So we'll break it in two. Kind of looks like chicken on the inside now, huh? Kind of cool. How's that tempeh nuttiness? Some people love. I just haven't acquired a taste for tempeh, but it's kind of nutty. And if I was going to try it again, I would maybe dip it in a sauce. I'm not sure I'd take that to a party. But, okay. Tempeh is a thing. People work very hard at it to perfect it. And there's always probably a better thing than what I'm doing today. But today I just want to see what these three products would do with very similar applications. All right, so let's try our tofu. Let's try our tofu. Even with the sauce, it's, because this particular sauce that I used really had no salt, no sugar, no, it was very sweet tasting. It only had 10 milligrams of sodium. So if I was to do this test again, I might add some things to it, or you could add a nice sauce to this afterwards. So you're managing your sodium. So that's always a possibility of, these are really beautiful. Look how gorgeous they are. And they still are white on the inside, kind of like square pieces of chicken now. They're very chewy and they're very dry because we did a good job of getting that water out. Very little of it permeates to the inside. Really, just like any other meat almost. When you're marinating a meat or a fish or chicken, very little really goes to the interior. It pretty much stays on the surface area, and then you still have to dress it up when you're done. So very similar with these products, although I think these are really beautiful. Okay, I think right now, I really like the way the tofu looks. Now the seitan. So the seitan is, it looks like meat, y'all. It's kind of got that burnt end look to it. And it's got that meaty, reddy, brown, stringy, striated, fibrous looking inside. So for the eye, seitan's winning right now, along with the tofu. I think it would be great as a snack. It would be great as a barbecue substitute. It would be great with barbecue sauce. It would be great with teriyaki because this was just peppercorn, garlic, nothing fancy. Kind of something that could cross over to multiple cuisines. But, you know, look at that. Isn't that cool? I don't know if you can see it or not. It kind of looks like meat. I know my husband's going to like that when he gets home. All right, so here's the deal. You try things and see if you like them. You might try this test and go, I really like the tempeh. And I'm like, that's totally fine. Because it's just a chew, a taste, and an acquired taste. And kind of also sustain how you have worked through getting used to these products. You know, tofu was never my thing, but I think that tofu is really good. And seitan, I was always like, but oh my God, it's so good. Play around with it. Test yourself. This is how you do primary plant-based eating especially when you're trying to do protein substitutes and you're thinking beyond the usual grains and legumes and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed this video today and walking through these 3 high protein products that are available to you. So lots of great ways from our plants on how to get more protein into our lifestyle. If you like this video, be sure and watch some of my other ones. The chanterelles, how to cut things, how to prepare things seem to be popular. There is actually a tofu recipe, a Balinese coconut tofu, I think that's out there, that hopefully you will enjoy. So yeah, and if you want more extensive, longer programs to help you with your cooking and your prep, feel free to join me at Learn It Live. I've got 12 videos. They're cooking lessons, running the gamut from how to even begin a plant-based lifestyle to how to eat vegan in Provence. So thanks for joining me. Be sure and click and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and just eat more plants.